Hi, it's Aaliyah, and in today's video, I want to talk about Alibaba the company and Alibaba the stock. Is it a good time to invest in Alibaba considering everything that's going on? Alibaba, everybody knows, Alibaba has been beaten up bad these past couple of weeks, these past couple of months. It is down almost 23% in the past 3 months. Alibaba has been beaten up bad. It's sitting at 52-week lows. Is now a good time to invest in Alibaba? Well, let's just talk about the company. Let's assess it. Let's look at everything from the outside. Try and see it from a more objective point of view. Alibaba, it's a 400 billion, almost $400 billion company, huge company, and a lot of people in America have not heard of Alibaba, but it is a huge Chinese corporation. Their trailing PE is 48, forward PE of 21, which is good for a company that size. And for the type of company it is, a forward PE of 21. So let's look at their past quarter. They just released their earnings was very recent, and so let's discuss the earnings results. And so we have 61% year over year revenue growth, which is amazing growth for how long Alibaba has been in business. It is amazing growth. 61% year over year total revenue growth. They have different things coming out, like on this presentation, they have the 93% year over year cloud computing revenue growth, which is a tiny portion of their company as of right now. So they have huge growth in the cloud computing business, and they expect that to be a big player later on, competing with like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, other cloud services that are out right now, competing with those in the long term. So those are all bets by companies that may not be their main profit drivers right now, but in the future, we're looking to the future because the stock market is always looking to the future. But let's keep going. Is it a buy though? Let's keep going. It may be beaten down for a good reason. Maybe the fundamentals are bad. Maybe there's a lot of risk factors. We'll talk about that right now. So 61% year over year total revenue growth. They have 634 million mobile monthly active users, 576 million annual active consumers. And so I wanted to talk about that. One of the things you want to look for in a stock is, does this company have a moat? Okay, does this company have a moat? And so we looked at China. There's a lot of Chinese popular companies out right now. There's Alibaba, there's JD, there's Tencent, there's Baidu. There's all these Chinese companies out right now, but I believe that Alibaba has a moat. Alibaba has like most of the market share for e-commerce, and so I believe that Alibaba, if you're in China, you can't escape the ecosystem that is Alibaba. And I say that because Alibaba is into so many different things. They have their hands and their feet in so many different things that it's very hard to escape the ecosystem. Whatever level you are living in, in your consumer, business, this and that, it's hard to escape the ecosystem that is Alibaba. And so that's one thing that I think the company does really well, is they have a great moat and they have great market share in the different the different drivers of their company, essentially. And so right now they're focused on revenue. So we see 61% year over year revenue growth. Their income is not as high because they're not focused on profitability as of yet, like increasing that. Right now it's all revenue. They're ramping up huge amazing growth, ramping up, not focused on income or profitability or anything like that. They're focused on mainly on revenue because they're ramping up. They're doing a lot of capital expenditures, investing in a lot of different things right now. For example, they just acquired Eli.me, which is like a food service delivery company. And so things like that, their year over year growth and like income and profitability is not as great. All right, let's discuss what they have going for them right now, like what they have right now. And so Alibaba is a big e-commerce company, and so for their China commerce retail, they have Taobao, they have Tmall, they have their Hema grocery retail, they have all these different commerce like outlets right there, China commerce retail. Then they have their China commerce wholesale, 1688.com. Then they have their international commerce retail, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, AliExpress. And so a lot of people in America know AliExpress or International Commerce Wholesale. And then they have, their International Commerce Retail. Then they have their International Commerce Wholesale of Alibaba.com, where like businesses can buy from suppliers. And then they have things like, they're investing in so many different things. So they just acquired Ellie.me, which is a food delivery service, like I mentioned. They have China Logistics Services, and I don't know how to pronounce this, but I think it's Canal or something like that. They're logistics network, so they're investing in logistics, basically. And so they're invested in different things, Yoku, things like that. Like, one of the reasons that I would say fundamentally Alibaba is a good company is they have a good moat, one. Two, they're in everything. Right now, they're not focused on profitability. They're not focused on income. They're focused on revenue, ramping up their business. And they're kind of in everything so that they have like an ecosystem. Just like, certain companies here have an ecosystem. They have an ecosystem in China where like almost everybody's in their ecosystem. And so let's talk about, I guess, the other side of the coin, the risk factors as of right now. And so the risk factors would be that tariffs. China right now, or has been in a bear market, so stocks are not looking too good in China right now. A lot of Chinese stocks are down right now. So that is a risk in it of itself. Just being in that atmosphere, that space, you're in with these stocks. Even though you're trading on, here, but you're in with these Chinese stocks, and all these Chinese stocks are in a bear territory right now, or they're down right now. So that's a risk factor in itself of China being in a bear market, this and that. Chinese stocks are down right now, and the tariffs that Trump is proposing and going back and forth between U.S., China, the tariffs, the trade war, things like that. Like, that's all a risk factor for Alibaba and like other Chinese stocks and U.S. stocks. So that's one thing that you have to kind of like look for, be careful about, keep up with the news about. And so that's one thing that's a risk factor as of right now. Until that ends, the tariffs, I see that this may have an effect on Alibaba, the stock. And as you know, it's down almost 23% the past 3 months. And so that's a risk factor right there that everybody needs to like pay attention to, look for, like trade war, and then the overall economy of China, and the Chinese markets that you need to pay attention to. And so as of right now, I would say fundamentally, Alibaba is a good company and a good stock. And I would personally invest in Alibaba. I would personally invest in Alibaba based on the fact that fundamentally nothing has changed about the company. Fundamentally, it's a good company, good leadership, it has a moat, a good ecosystem, amazing growth, amazing prospect for growth. All of these factors combined, I think, make Alibaba a good investment. But you do have to take into account the risk factors that may bring the stock down. But if you're a long-term investor, I would say I would personally invest in Alibaba for the long term. As of right now, I don't know where the stock is going to go in the short term. I don't know what's going to happen with these trade wars. I don't know what's going to happen with the talk. But China does a lot of its revenue in China. So I feel like the trade wars should not have an effect on Alibaba, but that it could. And so for the long term, I say Alibaba is a good investment. But for the short term, I do not know where the stock is going to go. I don't know when things are going to get resolved. I don't know how the geopolitical landscape is going to be short term from now. But in the long term, I say, based on the fundamentals of the company, I would say Alibaba is a good buy. And so if you want more of these videos, I will make more of these videos. Just hit that subscribe button, send me a message, leave a comment. What do you think about Alibaba? Would you invest in Alibaba? Why or why not? Leave it in the comments. I'll probably get back to your comment and respond. I love talking about stocks, and I love everything about the stock market. So leave a comment. I'll probably respond to you, either agreeing or disagreeing with what you're saying, and let's talk it out.